I've lost millions twice, and what nearly destroyed me wasn't the money, it was the victim mentality that I fell into. So in this video I'm going to show you the exact steps I took to get back to attack mode, and the two mistakes that will keep you stuck. Whether you're afraid of failing in the middle of a rough patch or you've just taken a serious hit, the pattern is always the same. You start asking questions like, why does this keep happening to me? So that's victim mentality. And I'm not saying that to be harsh. I'm saying it because I lived it. And I know exactly what it costs you. So here's what actually gets you out and helps to rebuild yourself. And the first step is probably not what you'd expect. It's something I call blind belief. And I want to be precise about what that means. When you're deep in it, rational thinking just doesn't work. Someone tells you it's going to be fine, well, it bounces off. You list your past wins, doesn't land. Your emotions are so loud, they drown out every logical argument you try to make. So stop trying to be rational. The only thing I found that actually worked was a single, unfounded, almost irrational belief that things were going to work out. I stumbled on a line that changed everything for me. And it goes like this: everything is going to be fine in the end. If it's not fine, it's not the end. That's not a strategy. It's not backed by data. There's no rational argument behind it. But that's exactly the point. Blind belief doesn't need a reason. It just needs to be stronger than the doubt. But when your emotions have taken the wheel, you need something that works with your irrational state, not against it. Blind belief does just that. It buys you enough stability to take the next step. But here's where most founders get it wrong. They hear rebuild and they immediately think business. But business is secondary here. What you need first are small, fast wins, things you can implement immediately and see results from quickly. Not because they solve anything in the business, but because they feed the blind belief. They give you evidence that you're still moving forward. Here's exactly what I chose to do, and it made all the difference. First, I started working out again. I'd completely neglected it for months. Business pressure had swallowed everything. Getting back into it wasn't about business. It was a signal to myself that I was worth taking care of again. And the moment the first results started showing in the mirror, something shifted. I was moving forward again, as a person, not as a founder, as a person. That distinction matters more than it sounds. And second, I forced lunches with people who had a winner mindset. Not to network, not to pitch anything, just to be in the room with people who talked about the future like it was real. The effect was almost immediate. Within a few of these lunches, I could feel the enthusiasm transferring, the hunger coming back. You cannot manufacture that alone. You have to go absorb it from somewhere. Those two things together produce something I didn't expect. I stopped caring what other people thought of me. Not in a forced, fake it till you make it kind of way. Genuinely, naturally, because I was moving again, physically and socially. The self-imposed shame started losing its grip. That's the sequence. You as a person first, business second. The thing is, I just gave you a highly effective framework for rebuilding after failure, but none of this works if you make the following mistakes. So, these are the two ways founders waste a crisis, and I've made both of them. Mistake one, going back to where you left off. Most founders, once they feel functional again, pick up exactly where they stopped. Same instincts, same assumptions, same blind spots. Don't do that. You just paid an enormous price for a very specific lesson. If you don't extract it, if you don't go back with a genuine humility and a real hunger to learn, you've paid full price and kept nothing. Here's what beginner's mindset actually means in practice. It means accepting that your read on things was wrong somewhere. You sit with uncertainty instead of forcing conclusions. You treat every conversation as something you might actually learn from instead of something that you need to perform in. And here's the thing about failure that nobody tells you: it gives you something that success never can. It gives you humility that's actually earned, not performed, not pretended, earned. And mistake number two: overthinking the seriousness of your situation. Here's what I know from losing millions twice: nothing is as it seems, not success, not failure. When you're worth millions, the problems don't disappear magically. They change. And sometimes, as hard as this is to believe, they actually grow bigger than what you're dealing with right now. And when you're failed, the brain goes into sort of overdrive, convincing that every door is closed, that everyone knows that you're finished. Well, it's lying. Nobody is watching you as closely as you think. The doors you're convinced are closed, well, most of them are still open. The people you think have written you off, most of them forgot about it by next morning. The biggest enemy after failure isn't the market or the competition or your bank account. It's your own brain distorting reality and trying to pass it off as an honest assessment. Don't let it. You don't need to have the full plan today. You just need to stop operating from a broken base and start moving again. Any movement in the direction that fuels this blind belief that I talked about. Quick, small wins that signal to yourself that you're still the one in control. The business follows from that. If you want to understand how you specifically are wired to handle pressure and setbacks, why some founders recover fast and others stay stuck, I've linked my assessment below. 3 minutes, it'll show you your exact pattern under stress and where the gaps are. Take it when you're ready.